Thank you, Mr. Chairman. Let me first say that Democrats repeating disinformation about the motives of the murder in Atlanta during a hearing on disinformation is irony at its worst. The murderer admitted that he was a sex addict. The problem was addiction, mental illness. While my thoughts and prayers go out to the families who were impacted by this hideous crime, it was not a hate crime. And to say so is disinformation. Mr. Dorsey, is it okay for a white male to tweet a picture of a KKK Klansman hood to a black woman?
No, that would go against our hateful conduct policy.
Just this week, black conservative commentator Candace Owens was sent a tweet from a white liberal depicting a KKK hood, and your support center said that racist harassment of a conservative didn't violate your terms of service. What do you have to say about that?
We removed that tweet.
Okay, thank you for doing that. Also this week, Syrian refugee Ahmad al-Alawi Alisa, a Biden-supporting Muslim, allegedly murdered 10 people at a grocery store in Boulder, Colorado. Your support center told Newsweek that referring to this gentleman as a white Christian terrorist wasn't a violation of your misinformation policy. What do you have to say about that?
I don't know that case, but we can follow up with you on it.
Thank you. Your promises from the last hearing that you'll work on this or make it better ring completely hollow sometimes, so I ask that you do. You've censored and taken down accounts of conservatives, Christian, and even pro-life groups. At the same time, liberals, tyrants, and terrorists continue to have unfettered access on Twitter. You're able to take down the account of a sitting United States president while he was still president, but you continue to allow state sponsors of terror to use Twitter as a platform, including the Ayatollah Khamenei, Javad Zarif of Iran, or even Bashar Assad of Syria. You act like judge and jury and continue to hide behind the liability protections in Section 230 of the Communication Decency Act, which Congress set up to foster a free and open internet. You think you're above the law because, in a sense, Congress gave you that power, but Congress gave you that liability shield to one end. That was the protection of innocent children. Catherine McMorris Rodgers knocked it out of the park today, hammering the point where children are vulnerable. But let's look at the John Doe versus Twitter case that's ongoing right now. According to the National Center of Sexual Exploitation, a teenage boy, a victim of child sex trafficking, had images of his abuse posted on Twitter. One of those videos went viral and he became the target of bullying to the point of being suicidal. He contacted you to alert you that his sex abuse images were on your platform. You failed to take them down. His mother contacted you to alert you, and again, you failed to take them down. They called the police and they followed up with you with a police report. Your support center told the family that after review, the illegal video was not a violation of your terms of service. In the meantime, the illegal video accrued over 167,000 views. It took a threat from Homeland Security agent to get Twitter to take down the video. Even then, you took no action against the accounts that were sharing it and continue to share sexually explicit videos of minors in clear violation of the law and in clear violation of your duties under Section 230 of the Communications Decency Act as they were passed. So in the eyes of Twitter, it's better to be a pedophile pornographer, a woke racist, or a state sponsor of terror than it is to be a conservative, even a conservative president. You've abused Section 230 liability shield we gave you to protect children and used it to silence conservatives instead. As we've heard today, your abuses of your privilege are far too numerous to be explained away and far too serious to ignore. So it's time for your liability shield to be removed. Your immunity shield and the immunity shield of other woke companies who choose to score political points with their immunity shields rather than protect children. My colleagues have been asking you if you deserve to continue to receive immunity under Section 230. Let me answer the question for you. No, you don't. Y'all think you do, but you don't because you continue to do a disservice to that law and its intent. The United States Constitution has the First Amendment, and that should be your guide, protecting the speech of users of your platform instead of treating them like hostages and forcing things through algorithms to lead them down a path. The American people really are tired of you abusing your rights, abandoning their values. So one of the Christian leaders that you banned, Mr. Dorsey, had as her last post a scripture verse that you took down, and I want to leave it with you here today. Psalm 34:14. Depart from evil and do good. Seek peace and pursue it. Rather than silence that wise advice, I strongly suggest that you follow it. Now, I've heard a lot of stuff on this hearing today about 230 protections. I challenge my colleagues to really get serious about doing something about this liability shield so that we do have a fair and free internet and people aren't censored. With that, Mr. Chairman, I yield back.